everyone, welcome back to Studio 33 Art by Kay. This is Kay and I'm going to be doing a Dutch pour to which I'm going to be adding some small blooms. And today I'm going to be using a 20 centimetre by 20 centimetre ceramic tile, which is 8 inches by 8 inches for those of you in the US. And I'm just going to be laying down a thin coat of base paint, which is the Eraldo white paint mixed with Australian Floetrol and a tiny bit of water, just to make it to the consistency where when it's drizzled back into the cup, it disappears virtually straight away. And that's because I'm doing the Dutch pour part of it. I haven't watered down any of my other paints. They're all just mixed with the Australian Floetrol to about 1 part paint to 2 parts Floetrol. And they're to the consistency where they just, when drizzled back into the cup, form a small mound. Normally for a Dutch pour, you would make them a little bit thinner than that, but today I'm just going to use them at the normal consistency. I've done a drip test to check the consistency of similar of my paints. The greens were very similar. This one's just a little bit thicker, but it's not too bad. As long as they're within, you know, a centimetre or so, then that's fine. And the other colours as well were all very similar. So there was none of them sort of stuck way up here or running off the bottom of the piece of paper. Okay. So to prepare my tile, I've done the usual, just wiped it over with the isopropyl alcohol. Sorry I keep repeating these for those of you who have watched most of my videos, but I have to do that for the newbies. People will be watching for the first time. So I will repeat those sorts of things over and over again. Now, I don't do anything with the back of my tiles at this stage. I do when I go to put the resin on, but at this stage I don't. And the reason for that is that I like to wipe some of the paint that's going to run over along the edge underneath, so that when I do my tiles, you can see a tile here that I've now put resin on and lovely glitter. I love my glitter. On the back, you can see that I've left a shadow line here. So the cork comes pre-cut and it leaves a couple of mil on each side. So that causes a shadow line when you put the tile down, so you can't see the cork when you're looking straight at it, which is a nice feature, I think. And so wiping the paint underneath that edge when you finish painting it gives you a nice coloured edge that's continued on from the sides. And I think that just gives a really nice finish, in my personal opinion. Other people may not like that idea at all, but that's how I like to finish off my tiles. Okay, so that's why I don't tape it off when I'm doing the paint. Okay, so I'm going to lay down some paint now on here. And I want just enough. The last one I did, I put probably too much paint and it kind of tried to take over when I did the blowout for the Dutch pour. So I just want to make sure I also get all of my edges covered. So when the paint flows over the edges, when I'm blowing it out, it's got something to adhere to. And also it gives a better finish too. So I'm just putting that over there. Okay, so just quickly spreading this. And it looks like it's about the right amount. I may have put a little bit too much on again. So I'll just let some of that flow over. You want to make sure you've got enough on there that you've covered your tile completely, but not so much that it's going to swamp the paints when they go on. So just a nice even coverage like that. Okay, and always just wipe your little tools off that you're using straight away with a piece of paper towel, and that way that keeps them nice and clean and you don't have any big cleanup to do later. So I'll just hit this quickly with the heat tool just to burst any bubbles. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just do a Dutch pour with just the greens, and then I'm going to do some little blooms in orange. So it's a little bit different, not my usual colours, but I do like to sort of switch it up every now and then. So this first colour I'm putting on is the Mont Marte Satin Series Mid Green. Then I'm putting Mont Marte Satin Series Yellow Green. I will list all these colours in the description box. And this is the Global Fluoro Green. All my paints have been mixed with Australian Floetrol and nothing else other than the base paint, which had that little bit of water in it. Now, I think I might just put a little bit of the copper on there, just because. So this is the Eraldo metallic copper. So I'm just going to blow that out, hopefully not too aggressively. And that's always the trick, is getting the airflow so that it blows it just right. And it is a bit of a technique, and there's only one way to learn, and that's to do it. Okay, so that's how I wanted that to be, similar to that, because what I want to do now is put the blooms. So this is sort of going to look like greenery around, and then I'm going to put the blooms in amongst the greenery. Not do them too big this time. There's a fair bit of paint through there by the look of it, so I might just blow that little bit out, maybe with my little mini blower. I'll just try it anyway. Maybe just a little bit with my mouth, excuse the back of my head. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to use the heat tool just to burst any bubbles. Loving how that fluoro green is coming up around here. It's just lovely, a little bit in here. Okay, so now I'm just going to put down the, this is the Global Orange. So I'm just going to do some little blooms. I'm trying to keep them small this time, so I'm not completely burying the Dutch pour. This is Global Warm Red. So all the warm colours. And now Global Fluoro Tangerine. And now I'll start another colour. So this is the Global Burnt Orange. Just going to do one over here. Just lay 3 colours in each. Just mix them up a bit. I might put the fluoro in each one though. And another one just up here, very small if I can. Always seem to get a bit carried away and put down too much paint. Okay, I might blow those out first and see how they go. Put a tiny bit of gold in there, just because I have to. And the gold is the Mont Marte pouring paint gold. Now my cell activator is the Global Black mixed with the Australian Floetrol to the consistency where when drizzled off the stick, it bounces back after about 3 seconds. I don't want to put too much on there because they're just tiny little blooms and the black might take over. So that should be enough. Now, I'm just going to blow this out with the straw, which is just this jumbo paper straw. And I've just flattened the end out of it. So I'll just blow it out with that and to see how it goes. Very nice so far. So approximately 5 or 6 petals. Okay, well, I quite like those. Might put just a little one up here as well. And I'm loving the Fluoro Tangerine, the way it's putting an edge around all of these. See, you never know what you're going to get. It's so exciting, really. I do get a little bit excited about it, as you've probably gathered. Putting the tangerine on last too, whatever colour you put on last tends to be what will dominate, or in this case it's pushed it to the edges and that's given it that lovely edge, and you can really see that demonstrated here today. And the gold has done the same thing. Just put a little bit of the black. Come on. Need a little bit more than that. Just that little bit. Okay, won't be a moment. Okay, I don't think I'll do too much more. Maybe a little one going over the edge there. You might be saying, stop, you've done too much. Just a really, really, really little one. Got the warm red and the tangerine. A little tiny touch of gold and a bit of black cell activator. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, I like that. It's something really different, not my usual colours. I'm just thinking here, the white's sort of taken over the greens a bit, so I might just try and gently blow that with the straw. Didn't bring up too much more colour, it brought up a little bit. But that's all a part of the effect. Okay, so now I'm just going to get my bamboo skewer. It's one of the thicker skewers. You can get them much thinner than this. And it's just got the little square end there I'm going to use. And always make sure you wipe it off with the paper towel in between. Otherwise you're going to muddy your colours. So I'm just going to now outline the flowers to give them more shape. Try not to disturb the cells too much. If you see a nice little pocket of cells, just sort of avoid them if you can. So these are looking quite pretty. And I know there'll be some people out there. Apparently the most popular colour is blue. But there are other people who do love these colours. So they are not to be discounted. Okay, now I'm just going to spin that a little bit. Just to get off any excess paint. And also that will just expand the flowers a little bit. But I don't want them to be misshapen too much. So that's helped some of this paint flow off here. That it hasn't lost my shape too much at all. Loving this little guy that I did at the end there. And the cells, just beautiful around all of these. It's very reminiscent of monarch butterfly, really. So I'll just do a little bit more modification, just to add a little bit of different shape. You know, sometimes you can do too much and it's better to sort of leave things alone. I like the shape of that. That's lovely, I like that. This guy's a little bit something. I don't want to play with the flowers too much more, actually. I like them the way they are. You get to that point where you think, will I touch it or will I leave it? I'm just wondering. Okay. Might just touch this guy in the center there just to give him a nice center. So you can use a very small balloon to change the center if you like, or you can just use your finger just to tidy that up a little bit. These other ones, I like the centers as they are because they've got the cells sitting in there. And you can just finish these little lines off with a little swirl. Or just doodle as much as you like, really. Rightio. All right then. Well, I like that. I like the idea of the Dutch pour underneath to give that lovely effect underneath the flowers there. And then the flowers on top, like they're flowers coming out of a bush. Yeah, I like that a lot. So I hope you like that too. So that's that for this one today. And I'll bring you down for a close-up. Okay, so here we come down for our close-up. As you can see, the background is quite varied. Over to this corner, it's very blended. And over here, you've got all the white paint that's made quite a different effect. And these are the blooms, which have turned out really nice. See how the fluorescent or the tangerine, fluorescent tangerine, and gold have outlined all those petals. And that's pretty cool. I think I like it a lot how that's done that. And they were the last two colours that I put in the little puddles. Okay, so that's that one. Don't forget when you put something to dry that you have it on a level surface, that you've also checked all your edges are covered. And in this case, I'll make sure that I've wiped some of the paint underneath all the edges. And also just make sure you put it probably in a coolish place to dry so your paint dries slowly. If it dries quickly, you'll end up with cracking. Okay, and that's it for this one. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And as usual, if you'd like to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, I'd greatly appreciate it. Okay guys, we'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.